So, Matt, if they do in fact take care of those two, and what's going on at Texas A&M is just
Yeah,
wow.
I know.
What do you have to see out of LSU to believe that they're going to have a better than puncher's chance against Georgia?
Yeah, and LSU offensively is different than Tennessee. I'm not trying to draw comparisons. Tennessee's pass offense has been magnificent this year. But the way they approach offensive structure is different. The reason LSU might have a chance against Georgia, if I was just sounding it out here, I believe LSU's defensive front seven, we talked about Perkins, but really LSU's entire defensive front seven is so fast and athletic. They can run sideline to sideline that they look like, we spoke before the Alabama game, Mark, I told you this. LSU's defensive front seven looks like an LSU defensive front seven. That's littered with NFL talent. And it's going to be hard to run the ball and turn the corner on this team. Where they're vulnerable is in the secondary. And Stetson Bennett has shown a propensity lately, man, that he is careless with the football. It may not show it in the turnover margin numbers, but boy, he has taken some chances with the football. If you actually watch them play, that are just unnecessary. And if they go into a situation where Georgia turns it over 2 or 3 times against LSU, you give that offense extra possessions, and you end up in a tight ball game in the fourth quarter. You've watched enough football to know, man, that's the recipe for an upset, where you're just a possession away, a busted play one way or another in the fourth quarter to determining an outcome. And I think that's probably LSU's path. But moving the ball against Georgia's defense is going to be tough for anybody. But I think LSU's defense is probably the unheralded story of this season for this team, how good they've been consistently throughout the year.
Yeah, from the time that I saw Stetson Bennett step on the field, I think in 2020 for any kind of meaningful action, especially when they played Alabama in that huge matchup in Tuscaloosa, It was like, this guy's pretty good. Yeah. He does a lot of good things, but there's about 2 or 3 times a game when it's like, why are you doing that? You cannot do that. and he continued to do that. And then he had that block against Michigan and Alabama in winning the national championship, where it was like, okay, he buttoned it up. He didn't do that. And I thought that he'd taken a huge leap forward. And of course, once you win a national championship and becoming a national championship game winning quarterback after all the adversity he had come through, and I credit the guy a ton because he took a ton of criticism as not being good enough. He gets that monkey off his back. They're losing with 5 minutes left. It looked like he was the guy that blew the game. And he gets that off his back and wins it. I'm like, well, sky's the limit in regards to his confidence. Just has to be through the roof. But maybe his confidence is a little too much through the roof, because he's back to doing that against teams like Florida, just kind of whipping the ball downfield wherever he wants to. Maybe it's because he knows that defense can crush just about everybody in their sight.
Maybe so. Maybe that's the security blanket that allows him what he feels is the freedom to do that. But you asked sort of a path. That's how it would or could look. But if Georgia plays a clean game, I don't think there's anybody in the country that can beat them. But if they don't, you could have some tense moments in Atlanta, December 3rd.
Always good stuff from Matt Moscona, ESPN Radio, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Catch him Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Central Time. And of course, a lot of people not in that area, Matt, I want to make sure that they can find your content as well.
Yeah, sure. You can stream us at 1045ESPN.com. We have the 1045 ESPN app and the 1045 ESPN Facebook page, or our YouTube channel, so you can watch all of our daily lineup on YouTube as well.
Always appreciate it, Matt.
My pleasure.